And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
Brown throwing to start the drive. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Here are the key inactives for this one, Charles. And as you get towards the latter stages of the season, you hope that this is a clean graphic with no names, but that's hard to do in the NFL.
Yeah, there's almost no way you think it's going to be like that. It's just a matter of what names are on the list and how you prepare to play without them. Everyone wants to finish strong. Well, the only way to do it, forget the inactive list and focus on the guys who are going to take the field.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were fantastic a week ago in their win over Houston.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Now this throw caught left side, and they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The end result, 21 yards. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Brown. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. When those extra defenders on the field, dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
And his kick is good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. He's past the 30. He will score. Touchdown, Texans. Will Lutz on for the point after. And this is up and going to make it 7-3. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. And as these guys interplay in Week 17, we know one thing. They are playoff bound, but they want to win that division title. They told us that is a goal that's been posted in their locker room since day one. They've got the chance to control their own destiny.
And there's nothing more powerful than saying that you won the division, because I know from building a team, when I talk with all the GMs and the player personnel directors, they always talk about, to get to the playoffs in the NFL, you have to have a team that's constructed to win your division. Beat those teams first. That's your number one path to getting there, and they can get that done in this game.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. Brown. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and rankings, they don't matter to him very much. I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish number 1, including himself.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. The Texans at 11-4 now on the year. They've been playing their best football of the year. Winners are 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. We talk about this Lions defense. And they're currently 21st, Charles, in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out. Being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. Kirby Joseph there to drop it.
That felt like a trap, because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Stroud looking to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Lions force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 12 carries, 64 yards, and a touchdown.
It's a pretty mediocre week for him on the ground. Certainly a boon to his offense if he can get a little more output on his touches this week. He should get some more early carries as his team tries to get him into a rhythm.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Looking to throw. Brown. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have the first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. last week in the loss as he gets this one away. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4. And the Texans will take over. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know that
he's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Lutz with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, a 14-3 ball game. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up.
18 Cardinals.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Well, he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. This will be fielded at the 17. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Houston's offense taking over again. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Stroud.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Stroud on 3rd down now.
Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up.
But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there.
2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Incomplete as well.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Detroit's offense ready to take over.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game now. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Now we'll throw here to his running back. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down. He's fresh off that 3-touchdown performance last week that got him AFC Offensive Player of the Week, so you know that he was already on their radar. Now he's maybe even a bigger plane on their radar.
Bigger plane. I mean, he is the big dot on that screen that they're looking at and saying, how in the heck do we stop him? They're going to try a bunch of different things, different people covering him, but right now he's locked in and is in sync with his quarterback.
Here's Stroud.
Touchdown! Dalton Schultz, 26 yards.
And the Texans are able to stretch out their lead.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And it was the tight end Dalton Schultz on the touchdown reception to cap the drive. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
And Detroit getting set to go now.
And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Buying time to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Here's Brown to throw on third down. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24.
Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
Okay, break.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick, and the Lions are going to take over here up near the 40. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Dragon 60.
Throwing again. Brown. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
On 2nd down, it's Stroud.
Flushed out right. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one because they took away his arm. But he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that 1st down pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Now Stroud.
Looking deep downfield. Left sideline, a dive, and it looks like he's got it. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
And Stroud now to throw.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Jack Campbell with a pick. And the Lions are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Alert! Unlock line! Ready!
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come upon...
Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the 3rd quarter.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter.
And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. C.J. Stroud and the offense back out there.
And he's got to be wondering what happened in that first half. 3 interceptions, very uncharacteristic.
And even the great ones go through phases like this, like what we just saw. And most of them, they have such a mental capacity to throw it out and essentially start over. I think that's where he's headed now.
He's got his opportunity to throw it out. Let's see how he does. On 2nd down, Eckler. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. A first down carry for Henry. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
A strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first.
Off the option, here's Henry.
And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Throwing now is Stroud. He'll get this out wide to Eckler.
No gain on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I've got a good friend in football who always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge. So that challenge not successful there, and that's going to cost him the first of his timeouts.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's 24-3.
Wow, I mean, it's so rare to even see one attempted from that distance, CD, let alone converted, but he came through with confidence and matches what was Tom Dempsey's 43-year NFL record at one point of 63 yards.
Yeah, I can still see that highlight of Dempsey making that kick, and nowadays we see it a little bit differently because, remember, Dempsey was a straight-on kicker. But these guys nowadays, the range keeps increasing, and they keep putting it through the posts.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short. Could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or do they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage.